Hi everyone, I'm Liz.
And I'm Cody.
And welcome to Unit 6, Blocking Bosses. So these days, with smartphones and technology, people feel like they are always connected to their work and their bosses are always calling them. And they're expected to answer, even, after work. So during waking hours, while they're awake, they should be on call, ready to answer the phone or answer an email.
Waking hours.
Waking hours. But many countries these days are making laws to prohibit these things. So recently, Portugal has made an employee privacy law that bans phone calls and emails and texts during off hours. So when employees are outside of work, they can't be called by their bosses.
Off hours.
Off hours. And Portugal has also made a bunch of other laws regarding, particularly related to this COVID situation and working from home with more people doing remote work. They have a law that says that companies, they need to reimburse their employees for the electricity and the internet that they're using when they're working from home. And they also have a law that says that companies can't force their employees to work from home. So employees are able to opt out of work from home if they are unable to due to home situations or just unwilling to work from home.
Opt out.
Opt out. And then they finally have another law, kind of the opposite side, that says that employees who have children under the age of 8 are allowed to work from home if they want to. So the employee can't prevent them from working from home.
That's good.
Which is all very nice. And there is a fine or a fee if the employees do not heed these new laws in Portugal.
Heed.
Heed. But the catch is that it only applies to companies with more than 10 employees. So small businesses are not bound by these new laws. So related to phone calls from the bosses, how often does your boss call you?
I don't think I've ever received a call, but I have received a text or two every now and then. When I say every now and then, maybe 2 or 3 times a year max.
That's not very often.
It's not. But it's mostly for like some announcement or notification of work tomorrow, something like that. I don't get bothered, but I am in a work chat, so I'm constantly getting messages. So after work hours, I just tend to ignore it. Unless my name is tagged, and then I quickly look and okay, that's it. How about for you?
I get 0 phone calls basically from my boss, working hours or after working hours. If there's like an emergency situation where a student has suddenly canceled a class, then I might get a phone call, but otherwise it's all done through texting and Kakao Talk. So I very rarely talk to my bosses.
I see.
How about after hours? Do you get very many messages outside of working hours?
No, kind of what I mentioned earlier. That's mostly after hours, because like during work hours, I see my boss or my manager in person. Yeah. There's a few bosses above her. I never hear from them. So yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, it's good.
And now for the language focus. The first point is, if noun is any indication, so if something is any indication, for example, if the recent increase in COVID cases is any indication, the end of the pandemic is a long way off.
Long way. And for mine, one notable exception is, so for my example, I don't usually crave desserts, but one notable exception is cheesecake.
I love cheesecake. Okay, and that's all for the preview of Unit 6, Blocking Bosses. We'll see you in the review section.